What is it that we're wanting to see in the world? What is it that we're wanting to see in the world? If we really think about what our day looks like, what our year looks like, what our month looks like, what is it that we're really wanting to see? Just reflect on that for a moment. What is it that we're really wanting to see? What is it that's important to us to see in the world? What is it that we reflect on daily or monthly or yearly? The things that really mean a lot to us. What is it that we really want to see? So I could say I want to see peace in my surroundings. I want to see love in my environment. I want to see people who are sharing and giving and receiving and knowing each other and feeling each other and experiencing each other. What is it that's important to us as a society, as a whole, as one whole beingness? What is it that's important to us? What do we really want to see in the world? And once we've identified that, what do I want to see in the world? So I'm going to take me as an example. The me of this beingness, of this body, of this substance. What is it that I want to see in the world? I want to see grace. I want to see grace in my environment every day. I want to see divinity. I want to see truth. I want to see love, right? And when I see these things happening around me, then I know that that experience has come from within me. So when I see it in the world around me, that's a direct reflection of my own inner state of being, right? So if I'm not seeing those things in the world, I reflect back to me, right? If I'm seeing violence or hatred or anything that doesn't look appealing to me, why am I seeing that? Why is that being reflected back to me? What is my inner state? What is my inner consciousness doing? Why do I want to see these beautiful things in the world around me? Is it possible? Is it really possible to live in a state of grace, in a state of love, in a state of true beingness? Is it really possible? Some would say no, we need the dark with the light, right? It means we need the devastation with the peace. We need the absence of quietude with the quietude. What do you think? Is it real? Is any of that real? Is the anger and the hatred and the violence real? Is it real? What do you think? It seems real when we experience it, when we witness it. It seems pretty real. When we feel it, it feels pretty real. What do you think? Is it real? Is it necessary to experience these things in our life? Is it necessary to have experienced these things in our life as part of our initiation, of our growth? Is it necessary? So I'm posing questions as a way to reflect on your own state of being, as a way to reflect on your own truth, as a way to reflect on your own divinity. Because I can tell you what I think, I can tell you what I feel, I can tell you what I've experienced. But where are you? What are you experiencing? What are you feeling? Right? So if I sit here and I witness the world around me in this moment, the world around me is pretty peaceful, pretty calm, pretty loving, pretty free. And in this moment, within my own being, I'm feeling pretty peaceful, pretty calm, pretty loving, and pretty free. So what happens when we reflect a state of inner being into our environment? What happens when we reflect an inner truth into our environment? What happens when we reflect that inner state of knowingness? Knowing what? What is knowingness? Knowingness is that state of pure, just being, right? We don't have to figure it out. We don't have to be different than we are. It's just that pure state of being, just totally being. I'm being. And in that being, I'm knowing. I'm knowing my true state of divinity. I'm knowing my true state of peace. I'm knowing my true state of love. So what is it that we're looking for? What is it that we're seeking? What is it that we're wanting? So we often hear people say, well, you have to embrace the dark with the light. Well, do we? Do we? It's a question. Do we? Do we really have to embrace the dark with the light? Or is the dark something that can be seen as a way past the light? Is the dark something that can be seen as different from the light? Is the dark something, or the violence, or the anger, or the disruption, can that be seen as separate from the light? Is it part of the light? Is it necessary to be in our environment? Do we have to experience that in our environment? Do we have to experience that to grow? Do we have to experience that to know the light? Is it true that we can't know the light if we don't see the dark? Is it true? So just reflect on it. And what is your own inner truth saying to you? What is your own inner beingness saying to you? What is your own inner reflection saying to you? Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to experience violence? Does it feel good? Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to experience disruption to our peace and to our love and to our joy? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to experience the anger and the frustration that comes with not knowing ourselves as true, divine, perfect, and free? Now, I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you've had those states, you've seen those states, you've witnessed those states, and you've experienced those states because it's part of our society as we're currently living. But is it necessary? Is it necessary? Think for a moment on that. Is it really necessary? So the viewpoint of general society is that it's just part of society. It's just part of being, right? And we can accept it or we cannot accept it. We can choose to live in it or we can choose not to live in it. But if you're purely choosing a state of peace, a state of love, a state of light, and a state of divinity, if you're purely choosing that, purely, what else exists? Reflect on that for a moment. Because if you are in a pure state of divine love, divine truth, divine peace, what else exists? Can anything else exist? Do you see what I mean? Hell can only exist if we put energy into the belief in hell, right? There's a lot of energy put into the belief in hell. So it has an existence of its own because of the energy that is put into it. But does it really exist? That's the question. Anger, frustration, and the violence that comes from these feelings, they exist as long as we're focusing on them, as long as we're putting our attention on them, as long as we are being obsessed with them. So what is the obsession with war, right? What is the obsession with correcting wrongs, correcting evils? There's a lot of violence and rage that goes into these things. What if there was nothing put on that area? What if there was no reflection thrown in that direction? Would it exist? Is it necessary for these things to exist? So I'm here to throw a little glitch in the system and say, no, it's not necessary. It's not necessary for anger to exist. It's not necessary for violence to exist. It's not necessary for the darkness in that manner to exist. Now, there is a darkness that is the quietude of our soul. There is a darkness that is the deep divine aspect of our true self. There is a darkness that opens up the deep divinity within us, right? Within all things. There is a darkness that exists that is not violence, not rage, not anger, not hatred, not ugliness. It's just a true, pure darkness of our soul, of our beingness, of our oneness, of our divinity, and of our truth. Right? So the empty space of beingness is darkness. So darkness exists within the light. Light exists within the darkness. But what is darkness? So here's the confusing point. People think darkness as a bad thing. People think, violence, war, all of that energy put in those directions is darkness. But what is true darkness? What is true darkness? Reflect on the inner space in your heart and ask, what is true darkness? Let me see the darkness within me that is the light of all things. Let me see the darkness within me that reflects the light back to me. Let me see the darkness within me that makes my heart expand and open and revel in joy and bliss. So what does that mean? Can we exist in a true state of beingness? Can we exist in a true state of health? Can we exist in a true state of knowingness? Can we exist in a true state of having the feelings that we want to have every day? Those joy feelings, right? Those love feelings, those bliss feelings, those ecstatic, graceful feelings. Yes, we can exist in that state. We can revel in those moods. We can seek divinity within ourselves and be in that state all day long, every day. Yes, 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 we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So I encourage you to reflect on it. I encourage you to reflect on the divinity within yourself. Is there violence within that divinity, or is it pure truth? I encourage you to reflect on your own inner divinity, on your own inner self, on what is inside of you in truth, in peace, the powerful essence of you that is the truth of all things. I ask you to reflect on those things. Because as long as we're saying, well, violence has to exist or we wouldn't know peace. No, that's not true. Peace is just our state of being. It is just a state of being. It is just a state of being. The other is merely ignoring what is already within us as truth. That's all it is. It's an ignorance. It's a not accepting. So what we feel within our being is what we perceive in the outer reality. What do you feel within your being? What do you experience within your being? What do you allow to expand from within your being? If you're reflecting on this inner state of truth, on this inner divinity, on this inner peace, on this inner love, the reflection of light within you reflects outside of you into everything you are seeing and doing and feeling. That's the way it is. That's the truth. That is the divinity of all things. It is the divinity of you. So I'm just putting a question out there today, a reflection, a deep looking. What do you want to see? What do you want to experience? What do you want to look at? How does it feel to go within your being and ask yourself these questions? Do I believe in love? Do I believe in truth? Do I believe in divinity? Do I believe that all of these things are possible to believe in and see within myself? Do I believe that everything is available to me within my own inner being? You see, you don't need anyone outside of you to tell you anything. If you reflect long enough, deep enough within your own soul, everything will be revealed to you. If you reflect long enough and deep enough within your own soul, everything will be revealed to you. That is where the truth lies. That's where your beingness lies. That is who you are, and that is where you find this depth of consciousness and of knowing. So when we speak to you, we're speaking to you from the deep depth of our own truth and of our own divinity, where ultimately we all reside in the same place of truth, in the same place of divinity, and in the same place of peace. But without your yearning, without your knowing your own true self as divine, perfect, and free, how can we be residing in this place together in all things free? Residing within you is the energy of grace, is the energy of truth, is the energy of peace, is the energy of love. Residing within you. Residing within you. It's all in you. Everything you want is in you. The whole universe is in you. Everything is in you. And the state of peace, the state of divinity, the state of truth, it all is your own inner being. I promise you, go within, find your truth, find your being, find your knowingness, and that becomes the reality that you live in every single day. I promise you, it's all inside of you. Go within, find your truth, find your love, find your divinity, be who you really are, want to be who you really are, want to find your truth, want to go within, because it's all there. Everything is there. You don't need anything outside of you. It's all inside of you. All the teachers, all the paths, all these things that we can do in the world, everything is merely a path to take you back inside of you. That's all it is. That's all it is. If something is leading you outside of your own truth, I recommend that you take a serious look at what's happening there. Because any teaching, any path, any true religion is only there to guide you back to your own inner peace, your own inner truth. The kingdom of heaven dwells within. The kingdom of heaven dwells within. The kingdom of heaven dwells within. Take it back to its essence. Take it back to its truth. Take it back to its divinity. What is the truth of the path that you're following? Who is the teacher that's telling you this and telling you that? Are you empowered to be yourself? Are you empowered to find your own depth? Are you empowered to find your own truth? Are you empowered to speak your words of divinity in truth? Are you empowered to speak who you truly are? Ask yourself that question in serious truth. Longing, depth, knowing that's what we're doing. The peace of all things, the love of all things. If you are confused, if someone is confusing you, making you think that you should be thinking outside of your own self, making you think that your own voice is wrong, making you think that everything's confusing. I don't know how to see this. I don't know how to do this. I feel this way. This person says that. That person says that. Please go back into yourself. Take your own longing. Take your own depth. Take your own truth into your own being. Follow your own depth. This is where it all lies. This is where it all lies. This is where it all lies. We need to come to this realization now. We need to come to this knowing now. We need to come to this place within our being now. This is where it all lies. If you're with a true teacher, they will be telling you to go within yourself and find your own truth. If you are with a true teacher, they will be leading you back into your own depth, into your own longing. If you're with a true religion, if you're with any true path, they will be telling you that it all is within you. It's all within you. It's all within you. It's all within you. You have the power. You have the grace. You have the divinity. You are the light of the world. You are the truth of the world. There is no path. There is no religion. There is no dogma that stands above you in this knowing. None. None. If they're standing above you, then they are not teaching you that you are the divinity of all things. Do not let anyone or anything stand above you, because you are the divinity of all things. You are the truth of your own consciousness, and you are the truth of your own bliss. And this is the time on this earth plane that each and every being comes to this realization. We all know who we are. We all know why we're here. We all know what we're doing. We all know that we share in this oneness, in this consciousness, right? As a collective energy of grace, we share in this together. We share in this together. We're all in this together. We're all in this peace. We're all in this truth. We're all in this grace. We're all in this divinity. And yes, we can live in a world of peace. Yes, we can live in a world of love. And yes, we can live in a world of pure understanding. Because what we see within ourselves is what is produced in our reality, in the world that we live in every single day. I promise you, find the truth within yourself, and you will see the manifestation of love, light, joy, peace, and truth in everything you're doing. I love you. I just wanted to share this inner knowingness, this inner truth, this inner beingness. Because see, what a teacher can do is teach you that they've done it, right? That they've done it. They can say, wow, look what I found within myself. Wow, we're the same. We're one. We're truth. We're divinity together in this peace, in this love. And I say to you, it's all in you. Everything is in you. I love you. I find your depth. I find your divinity. I find your truth so amazing, so powerful, so divine, and so free. And I encourage you to be who you truly are on this earth plane. I encourage you to find your depth, to find your truth, to find your love, to find your truth, to find your divinity, and be who you came here to be. Kuruna karata. Mata karusa reke kananananana gurutana kalia shato kurutan arete kurumata arete. Nisto kuruna kalia patan hoto shava kama meko masi rete ur hanakali urun are ishta moto mata. Pasto. Hirana kalia potokurushe emoto. Hiranaya tokurani kimaya takanya tata. Nohotaya vishitanya kalia motahashaka. Hiroko mati hariamukota. Ishtaya mukopala
Love is all you ever need.